Hey all. We are at Homestead for the Championship 4 in the Truck Series. 8 times I've been here in the Championship 4 in the career mode. And only got one championship because I had a lousy setup here.
Hold your line, got one inside.
As I mentioned in the last Xfinity video, I think it was in Texas, I tested here for all 3 series, working on the setups, and as you can see, I'm running 3rd. I believe I was up front most of the race. The replay will probably bear that out. But really struggling. You know, I don't have a slow truck, but I don't have a consistent truck. It doesn't stay up front. But I got a lot more consistency in it. But my problem in the past is I always had to beat the winner. In the one race I won here, I beat everybody and I won the championship because I was in the championship 4. But I finished 2nd place, 3rd place, 8th place, like every place in the top, like literally 8, 7 times, and lost the championship. So you see that little blue mark next to my name up there in 3rd place, 4th place now. And you see Stuart Friesen, he's got a little blue mark too. That means I'm racing him for the championship. He's the championship contender that is highest up, closest to me. So I'd like to win the race, but my truck isn't accommodating me on that part as much as I'd like with 5 laps to go. I mean, I can't even keep in front of the 3rd place truck. Doesn't help that they're running the preferred groove where I can make some ground up in 1 and 2. But I gotta at least stay in front of Stuart Friesen and not let his run get in front of me, because that would be bad. So yeah, we're in the 33s because it's at the end of a tire run. I don't think I go to the tire wear because it doesn't really matter at this point. I got what I got. If there's a caution, I'd probably be better off staying out and not getting tires at this point. Because this is the kind of race where even though it's very hard to drive and there should be a lot more cautions, there usually isn't. So there's usually like 20 plus guys or, you know, almost the whole field on the lead lap. So it doesn't pay this late in the run to, you know, pit and take tires, because I'm not going to get back up to 4th in a couple of laps. So it's just basically, you notice, just hang on. I kind of calm down a little bit. I see I got a 2-second lead on Friesen. Laps are winding down. I'm going to get my championship, which is what I really want. If, you know, I'm not up in this groove because I want to be. I'm trying to pass anybody. I'm just a little, you know, I have no grip.
Careful, still there.
See, I got to turn in like where they're turning in, and then I can run the middle. But when I turn in late, like I have been trying to avoid hitting Moffitt, then it kind of washes up, and I got to take what I can get, which is a slower turn. And with so little grip, it's risky hitting somebody. If you were thinking, oh, why don't I just move them? Because I'm more likely to lose control of my truck with such little grip. You know, when you bump somebody out of the way, it's because you got a faster car. Like at Bristol, you know, a faster car often means a car with more grip. As you can see, I'm barely got it under control, so I don't want to upset the thing any more than it already is. So I'll just take my 4th place, if I can make it all the way around, and take the championship.
Another top 5.
Yeah, a little more positiveness, like the spotter coming over the radio and screaming, "You're the champion, you won the championship, we got it," whatever. But you kind of really don't know until you get to later screens. And I run the replay first. So I qualified 7th, which probably means I was more like a top 5 qualifier, because I typically don't qualify well. I have my moments, but most of the time not on qualifying. I think I tend to save them for the race. Anyway, so you see I got loose right off turn 1, but I held onto it. Ugh. I have been way too tired lately, so I apologize. Grabbed the lead, but you know, 28 laps, and I'm top 6, top 5, and I noticed at the end of the run I would start pulling back on trucks to a point, and that was in the stages. But I think we ran it all the way down in the 3rd stage, which is why I couldn't do anything. Yep. So restarted 3rd. Looks like the 2nd stage took the lead, just like I did before. I know I fought for the lead because the stages, the track changes. Online too, if you run stage races. So you can be loose in one stage, tight in another, and then fine in the 3rd, or any combination of the above, including not affected at all. I've had that too. See, so I'm up at the top 6, you know, pretty much running all day, it looks like, which is good. Huge improvement, because I'd be back fighting for 10th place in previous races at this point. So very happy about that. But I like to get it faster. We recently ran Pro League qualifying here. I think it was in the Cup car. But learned a few things. And applied it to my single season Cup series. And won the championship there first try in a Cup car. So happy about that. But haven't, at this point, in this race about a month ago, I haven't applied any of that yet, because I didn't know it yet. So a lot of times, stuff might, you know, is translatable in a relative sense. It's hard to explain unless you do setups, but if you know you're having a certain problem and a certain fix that you can translate to all 3 series works, then, you know, there you go. But you got to have a decent balance. So, yeah. That means, you know, you got to be able to drive, you know, the truck or the car. If you can't drive it, it doesn't really matter, does it? But you get it driving well, then you can play with it. There's my Homestead stripe, which happens more often than you think. Not much to me usually. Oh, that's bad loose. See that? That's what Darrell Waltrip calls a hospital hop. It's when it cuts one way and then you overcorrect, because I overcorrected because I didn't expect that to be so snappy loose. And then boom, right into the wall. Yeah, the more extreme or the more to the edge you get your setups, the lighter the touch it needs. I have very fast steering, so it doesn't take much to over control it. I do that because I find the precision that I get is much better at most tracks. But at the same time, if you got somebody set up and you're using your own wheel lock and you're like going into the corner and always spinning out kind of thing, you know, lowering the wheel lock 1 or 2 might not hurt. But I use a base 10 on my setups, and then I go from there. You know, like some short tracks and road courses, you might, like the Roval, you might up that because you got some really tight turns in there. And then some super speedways, like most recently Kansas, you might lower that, and it'll help you maintain higher speed without worrying about getting out of shape longer. This is the championship screen. See right there underneath the Gander Truck Series on the trophy? The tiny one, not the big one. That's where you can clearly see it says champion. We gotta wait to get back to it, because I didn't win the race. Here, look, see? Ah, see? That was it. Just get like 3 or 4 seconds of it. But it did say in the standings that I am the champion, which is cool. Which is, you know, at this point, you'd think there would be more, you know, boom, you know, while you're still at the track. And there is. It's just coming up. But you have to wait till you get all the way, you know, past all that. The tiny little champion on the trophy. And there we go. There it is. Ah. Wow, 3.6, almost 7 million fans. Wow. That's a lot of fans. Merchandising good. I'm glad I made that contract. The championship is what it's all about. Once you get in a position to be competitive, you know, winning championships, that's what counts. You got to win races first. So I won a ton of races. I think I had like 22 or 23 races. I think I won 8 or 9. Lots of top 10s and top 5s, blah, blah, blah. See, this is Xfinity. I'm like, yeah, I got to win, so might as well go for the win. Usually don't do that, but because anything can happen. Xfinity race coming up. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and for those of you, and subscribe. And for those of you who have, thank you. Keep rolling.